The number one source of friction in your engine is not what you think. Piston rings rubbing against the cylinder walls generate more friction than any other part of the engine. More friction and temperature means more wear and less horsepower. Fortunately, the team at Total Seal knows how to reduce friction and wear through innovative piston ring design. If it takes a piston, Total Seal can build a better ring.
It's time for an inside look at the most powerful motorsport on the planet. WFO Radio NHRA Nitro. This is WFO Radio.
Hey everybody, WFO Radio back on the air. Super excited about today's interview. The historic Top Fuel World Champion interview of Doug Kalitta. We have all been waiting for this for a long time, and it's easy to say it now because it's happened. But this was one of the final things that, maybe a weird injustice in the competition side of the sport of drag racing. Doug Kalitta has been there, the Kalitta name, for so many years, and they finally broke through with a winner-take-all final round victory at the In-N-Out Burger Finals. It was amazing, and Doug is going to be joining us just seconds from now. So here's what I ask all of you, both those of you watching live and in the future, share this interview. WFO Radio has been so fortunate to be in and deep within the sport of NHRA drag racing for many years, but moments like this one only happen every once in a while. And we're going to have a great time chatting with Doug, talking a little bit about, has it sunk in yet, and the plans for the future and the moments that mattered on this interview. And I'm so excited. But first, let me just name check the people. I'll give you a detailed wrap on everybody after we speak with Doug. But the folks at Total Seal, the folks at FTI Performance Transmissions and Torque Converters, of course, Foggit, now an Amazon Choice product. So if you go to Amazon, you can just type in Foggit, and all of a sudden you'll get better options. Bernie Speed Shop down there in Ocala, Florida, and Phillips Connect. Frank Hawley and Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, Marvin Rodex, coffeeandgrills.com, and samtech.edu. All sponsors of WFO Radio. They keep us going. This show doesn't happen without our sponsors, and we'll be announcing some new ones as we move into 2024. Yes, that is right. There is no winter break on WFO. There's no winter break for the race teams, and there's no winter break for us, except for maybe the holidays. But let's bring him on. Who's excited? I'm excited. Here he is. Top Fuel World Champion, Doug Kalitta. What's up, Doug?
Yeah, that's got a nice ring to it, Joe. Yeah,
I'm so happy for you. Like, that's what it is. It's so amazing that you did this. I'm so happy for you. Has it sunk in?
It has not sunk in yet, but it's getting close. We managed to forget the trophy in California. The thing was incredibly large, right? So I'm like, somebody's probably going to grab it, right? So needless to say,
here's a great photo of you and the trophy. It is huge. It is heavy, from what I understand. So
I figured, we're going to need a wagon or something. Somebody will grab stronger than me. They're going to grab this thing. And so supposedly on Monday, it's going to show up on Monday. We'll get that thing up on the stand that we've got for it. And then probably at that point, we'll have, it'll settle in maybe a little more at that point. But yeah, I've been working at this for 26 years and we finally pulled it off. So my big relief, as you can imagine.
And that's the word, relief. And it's almost unfortunate that that's how you have to feel, but you've invested 26 years in the sport. You've been close so many times. And so winning it, yes, there will be joy in the future, but relief. People carry their own burdens around, and many of them are very serious. This is a competitive burden, not the end of the world. We have to put it in perspective. But that having been said, you will never be addressed as the greatest driver to never win a championship. And what's up with that, Doug? Ever again?
Yeah, no, that's got a nice ring to it too. So, and obviously, another opportunity to get on your show and talk about, stuff like this. So, but yeah, no, it was a great day. Obviously, getting the win. It wasn't easy because we had to obviously win the beat Leah in the final. Her car's been running, super good. So I figured we were both going to throw down and that's what it was. And, but like I said, like you were mentioning, wasn't easy. We had to do it in the final round at the final race. And, but it was turned out, as good as, turned out awesome. And, it was a great day for me and my team. Connie, he was there celebrating with us, and it was all good.
Yeah, Conrad, amazing. Everybody, we always talk about his personal investment in the sport, and it is often said that no one has burned more nitro than Connie Kalitta. I've got many questions about many moments, but when you guys finally got together, because it takes a little while to get you from the top end of the racetrack and all the responsibilities, and he was in his cart on the starting line, and I was able to do a very fun little interview with him on the starting line and kind of capture his perspective on the moment. But when you guys got together, what was that like?
Yeah, no, he was super excited. Obviously, we had a lot of people around, all fans around him. So yeah, we just gave him a big old hug and thanked him, and so it was really exciting. It was really been out here trying to be, one of his guys that's won a championship, and he's got a number of championships under his belt with, Scott, Dell, JR, Shirley, so he's, had a lot of success with winning championships, and certainly I've been trying to get him one. So it was a cool moment for sure.
Have people shared with you their perspectives of this moment? We know that, you were in the car and dealing with just everything associated, but there was 1,000 people on the starting line.
Yeah.
And every one of them had their phones out. Have you been able to dive into any of that stuff just yet?
Just the photos, my team up there on the starting line after the win light came on, which actually after they discovered that we had won, because the win light apparently didn't come on.
Yeah, no win light means
right like it normally does. So, but yeah, once they figured out we won, just to see how happy everybody was, it was a thing of beauty for sure.
All right. Well, so I have my perspective, and I would like to try to share it with you. There are moments when I'm on the starting line where I just say to myself, like, okay, I know Fox is capturing this moment officially, but I want to capture this moment personally, where I was, what was like, what I was feeling, and who was around me. And so I'd like to try to play it and for us to watch together. Okay. And everybody in the chat section, and this is the Joe Castello version of Doug versus Leah. And, computers, it might get a little glitchy, but I think it's going to work great. And let's watch together, and I'll come right back on and we'll talk about it afterward.
All right.
Here we go. And that is the moment, Doug. Just being able to see Nicky like look right into the camera, and he's crying. He's got the emotions of all those years of you guys working together. It's just coming out. Reg, Kenny, Chad, and Alan, and just what did you see right there? What did you think?
Yeah, no, that video says it all. I mean, at first, obviously, you could tell the tension on the starting line there with, but no, everybody was, what a hell of a team effort there. It was never get old watching that video for sure. But
you noticed the tension though, right? Like
you could cut the tension.
I didn't watch it until today. That has been in my pocket on my phone since the finals, and I did not watch it. And I just wanted to let a little time go by. When I loaded it in here this morning, I watched it, and that's the thing. Like everybody is tight. They are tight. The feeling, and I've had a couple of crew guys come up to me and say, not necessarily from your team, but just no one can understand how we feel having worked on the car and then send it up there. Like, what's going to happen? Is it going to break? Did I do it right? Is everything perfect? And that video, at least for me, shows the intensity of the moment.
Yeah, no, you said it all there. So great job with that video, because it was nice to get the perspective of what happened there with everybody just kind of milling around, and then obviously with the run. So which obviously Alan's got a lot of history in that right lane too over the years, so I was pretty comfortable over there. We had been in the left lane all day, and I'm like, this is a good place to be for this particular run. Okay, all the marbles on the line.
That note, okay, the run. We've seen you on that video of the run, and Alan and Tony in the right lane and all of that for years and years, and it's just been a big part of drag racing. And and Tony Schumacher was down there on the starting line, and everyone, like people who had been trying hard to beat you, were then there behind you, and Alan Johnson most importantly. And that whole, the way they kind of connect to each other now. I feel like they connect, but you as the person who was involved in both of those moments, just what do you make of it? The whole way it has come together, and drag racing history.
Yeah, no, that was, Tony, he was, complimentary, all throughout the weekend, and, was wishing me luck. And, it was kind of interesting. And then at the banquet too, he was super proud of us. So, but yeah, Alan and him have they had a lot of success together, and raced against both of those guys, as Tony, had a great career with Alan as his crew chief, but to have it come full circle, to get Alan as my crew chief, and, be able to pull this off. We obviously have been struggling, for a little while, and, it was so nice to see it coming together here, with the countdown start and winning, the first two events. And then from there, I think we kind of got our stride and got some confidence going, and certainly, having to come down to the last race in the last round was a little more stressful than I was hoping for. I was, hoping that we could have not made it that stressful, but in the end, I mean, it couldn't have played out better, really.
Yeah, well, that's, I guess, what makes it great right now is that it's winner take all. Reinhart and I were having a little debate yesterday on the show about the moment of the year. And up until that final round, the moment of the year might have been Caps winning U.S. Nationals with Snake on the starting line, and that whole weird thing coming together with a special paint scheme and all that, until a winner-take-all final round for Doug Kalitta to win the Top Fuel World Championship. But I'll let people debate that at home. Let's go back to Reading. There are moments where you don't really know what's good or bad. In the moment, if we said, hey, your tire going down in Reading and destroying a car, is that a good or bad thing for Doug Kalitta and the team? I'm pretty sure everybody would have said, that's terrible. That's a terrible thing. But in actuality, that turned out to be the dot on the timeline where everything changed. Have you guys ever been able to put together why breaking out the backup car worked so well for you? Because you started the countdown with the canopy car. So I can only imagine you felt like that was your best chance to win.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. Yeah, we after we blew the tire and realized we had to switch the car, and I'm like, oh, this is just, I couldn't believe what we were having to deal with, and so we drug that thing out, and it responded well, and coming out of there with the win was, I don't think anybody expected us to be able to drag that backup car out and pull it off, really. So so that definitely got our momentum going with with this countdown, and everybody's like, the canopy car is a little heavier, so between that and just whatever Alan and Brian and the guys stumbled across at the same time, because really there's very little difference between the two other than maybe the weight right in the center of the car. So not real sure. But whatever it was, the car was happier. Everybody was happy. We got, our momentum going from that point on, and then being able to go to the next race and keep it going. That just, was icing on the cake to just realize that we really had a legitimate shot at trying to win this championship this year. So,
and in those moments, you're a pilot, right? We talk about often behind the scenes when we are having our conversations about drivers and their mental attitude. It comes up often that what makes you a good pilot, the calm and the just analytical style, isn't, sometimes like, is Doug feeling this? Like, what are Doug's emotions right now? What's going on? But you are trained to keep calm in every moment. But what about on the inside, as you're feeling like, all right, we won. Now we won 2 races. This could be it. This could be the year. Oh my goodness. Is this the year? Am I going to do it? Like, are you feeling that inside and just not showing it? Or are you like genuinely calm and take it easy?
Yeah, generally calm. Yeah. I'm just trying to, you just got to, each situation, each round, it's just a matter of trying to get it done. And, but yeah, getting all amped up probably isn't the style that works the best for me. So I'm a see it and get it done kind of guy, and try not to get, too jazzed up about, because you certainly don't want to screw yourself up either by, getting out of your normal program. So, and just having a lot of faith in the guys that you have around you, that's probably the biggest thing that, that keeps you calm and keeps you really focused, is knowing that you got a hell of a team behind you. So yeah.
All right. So let's specifically talk about the finals and the road to that run that we just witnessed. Not easy. It was going to be challenging, cool weather, Alan Johnson weather, but you guys unloaded very well. You through to qualifying. You went 72, 67, 72, 66. You're off the trailer with a 30 light, right? And in those moments, we had that great press conference with the championship contenders for NHRA the week before.
Yep.
And, cut good lights, keep it in the groove. That was the plan that you laid out. And it seemed like you unloaded, though, with a next level intensity. And, the best athletes can always elevate one more level when they need it. And when you unloaded 30 on the tree, 72 on the track, down the track, it was a signal, I think, to everybody that you guys had come to play. Take me into the mindset as you're getting ready for Q1 on Friday.
Yeah, it was, obviously going to be a big weekend for us, and, just a lot of confidence in what we had going on with Alan and my guys, and really Pomona is a track I love going there. I mean, it just has the history and just kind of the whole atmosphere of what goes on. But yeah, it's just a matter of just really just hoping that, you're going to go up there each round and be able to throw down and I really do have to give a lot of credit to my guys. They really had that thing running well, getting in the consistency, what we had going on through qualifying, definitely, brought us to Sunday with, a real shot at, thinking we could pull this off. So usually first round, second round, it's, those are such big rounds. It's like, if you could get past the first couple, then you can, you kind of get more, really for me, you just get more comfortable with what's going on, and I had a couple, better reaction times the last couple rounds than the first two rounds. So I was probably just a little bit nervous and wanting to make sure that, you've definitely seen the light and you're not going to do anything stupid. But yeah, once you get to the later rounds, you got to swing for the fence with, the tune-up and relying on your seeing that light and getting a good light. Because, at the last round or semis, I mean, we definitely didn't want to get beat on a whole shot. I mean, Josh Hart, he put one on me. I think it was second round. He had like a 27 light, and fortunately my guys had that thing running well. So kind of dodged a bullet second round, but I settled in a little better for the last two rounds, and so it was a great day, and like I said, such a emotional relief to be able to get the championship and have Alan as my crew chief, and Brian. These guys looked up to Alan over the years, racing against him, and it was one of those deals that I was a year and a half into having him as a crew chief and hadn't even won a race. So I was probably mid-season thinking, man, I don't want to be a guy that's never even won a race with Alan as your crew chief. That would not look good on your resume, right? But it really turned out well, and really proud of those guys.
You did. You had to exercise some demons. You mentioned Josh Hart. He got you and Leah the previous race on a whole shot, which is amazing. The way the whole countdown just all played out, dramatic. Your lights on eliminations, 68, 69, 55, 47. Best light in the final round. That's the way to do it. Q2, 67, Q4, 66, final round, 67, low ET of race day. And those felt like similar conditions to me. Just awesome. We got some questions out there from some people. I don't want to keep you all day, but I do have a couple of things. John wants to know about Mitch. Is your son going to start driving? Like, what about that? The family. Now, dad's a world champ, all that. I know they're into soccer and various other athletic endeavors, but eventually, there's drag racing. Have you guys had that talk? Is there a next generation?
Yeah, no, it took him a while to realize he wasn't going to be a professional soccer player. Played through his, year round his whole life, up and through, even through college there. So hell of a player, very, coordinated with that ball. And my daughter's the same way. So, but yeah, this last year we went to Frank Holly's school with him and his cousin, Colin, Kalitta, Scott's boy, and Luke Faith, who's some real good friends with those guys. And but no, he did a really good job driving that thing. He seems pretty interested, and that's really what it comes down to. These days with really any opportunity is you just got to kind of see how bad they want it, and and kind of push for it. It's not something that you want to push on them because it's just the way it is these days. So, and the same with flying. My son, we've flown him together all over the place, ever since he was born, and really hasn't shown a lot of interest. And then all of a sudden here once he got out of college, he's like, hey, I want to learn how to fly. So he's doing that now as well. So, but yeah, no, it seems like something he's interested in doing, both racing and flying, and we'll just kind of take it as it comes and try to get him a little more seat time here this next year, along with Colin. I'd like to definitely try to get one of those two interested in driving and see how it goes.
Both of them. Let's get them both out there. And yes, the Frank Hawley's drag racing school experience. Luke told me about it, and he said he had a blast and amazing. All right, another rapid fire question. This one from me. You know, Tony Stewart was in the winner's circle, and I overheard a great conversation, him recounting the battle that you guys had for a USAC championship way back in the day. And, Caps got to do SRX this year, and now you're the NHRA Top Fuel World Champion. If you got invited, do you think you could make some time in your schedule to go do that SRX deal and represent drag racing the way Caps did this past year?
Yeah, no, Ron, he drove the heck out of that thing and
yes,
did a great job. So, but yeah, I probably could. I certainly could. So, I stay super busy with everything I do, so I try not to, get too carried away trying to spread myself too thin. But no, that would be obviously Tony's done a great job with that series, and it looks like everybody had a lot of fun. No, it would be fun for sure.
All right, good. The seed is planted. It is out there in the ether. Again, I could talk to you all day, but you have to go, and we have time, and everybody out there. So let's talk about now important stuff. You're now the world champ. All right. You've accomplished this major goal, but is this the end, or is this just the beginning? I've been speaking with Alan off and on and Brian off and on since the beginning of this deal, and they've been giving me these like percentage status reports. We're figuring it all out. We're 15% in. We're 20% in. I spoke with him at Sonoma this year. I was like, where are you guys now? And he's like, we'll call it 85%. We're not there yet, but we're getting to where we want to be at the end of the season. Now, I'd love to ask him, is this it 100%? And he's got everything right where he wants it. So what's your plan for 2024 and beyond? Maybe this isn't just a Doug wins one world championship kind of thing. Maybe this is now the team is together that can go on a run. How are you feeling?
Yeah, no, with the momentum we got going now, keeping the guys together is the main thing. And it looks like, that's all going well. And as far as plans on, obviously we've got the 3 cars. We're trying to, put our best foot forward with all the 2 dragsters in the funny cars. So I'm going to certainly have to let this one play out a little more. See exactly, see what happens with, the plan with, Connie typically has, and Chad, and then obviously with Alan, just trying to sort out what we're doing. And I haven't really spent a lot of time seeing what the changes or some of their thoughts are with the changes for next year. But Joe, as soon as something concrete comes out, all I know is Brian and Alan and, those 2 guys are on the program for next year. And
that's great.
Sort it out from there.
Well, exactly. And that's the downside of having many successful businesses, that you have to give them your attention and your focus. And, sometimes the race team, you have to keep that in the moment, right? Like you focus on racing when you're at the racetrack, and you focus on funding the racing when you're not at the racetrack. And I don't know how you do it all.
Yeah, no, I've certainly surrounded myself with a lot of great people. So, but no, it's certainly looking forward to next year. We could start out testing in February, and I think down in your neck of the woods, I think we're going to be down in Bradenton this year, so that'll be good.
Yes.
Never been to that track, so but no, we'll be loaded for bear and ready to go. We get through the holidays, and obviously I hope all you guys have a great holiday season, and we got Thanksgiving coming up, so have some fun with your families, and that's what I'm planning on doing, and we'll be ready to go for next year. It's just too good of an opportunity to pass up, so I'm going to definitely stay with it here.
Yeah, like the celebration for Doug Kalitta. That's what people want to know. Okay. Now the relief and the this and the that and your family and the photos and the speech, and you gave it all, and your fellow champions were super excited for you. And now you kind of go off into the winter break, right? And it's more personal. Like, what do you do to celebrate? What do you do to decompress after that extremely intense experience?
So yeah, for me, it's just back to work. I love what I do too, with the airplanes and, working with all of what we have going on here. So I will take between Christmas and New Year's off. We typically go down to the Caribbean and hang out for a week. So that's always been our kind of go-to spot. And that's about as far as taking a break. That's usually the break I take. So, but no, we've got just a great effort going on, and Connie's super excited. So, we'll take a little time off and hit the ground running again for next year. Looking forward to it.
Chad Head, I see him at the awards banquet, and I don't know exactly when it was, but we were both in, I think, street clothes, and he's walking, and I was like, maybe it was before the award ceremony. I was like, hey man, you ready for this? Thinking about the award ceremony. He goes, I'm ready to go. I go, wait, what do you mean? Go where? He goes, go racing. Let's go racing. Let's go drag racing. 2024. Let's go. I go, man, you are a hardcore drag racer, Chad. You don't even want to do the speech. You don't even want to do the party. You want to go racing again. And he goes, damn right. That's Chad Head.
That's him.
Loves drag racing.
No, he does a great job for us. And,
amazing. Well, this is it. The first historic Doug Kalitta World Champion interview, perhaps not the last. Congratulations. Thank you for making the time for us here on WFO Radio and our podcast and live stream. And don't take this the wrong way. You look different. It's like it's like a burden has been lifted off of you. I don't know how much percentage, like in your normal life, you think about, I've won the world championship, but you genuinely look lighter, like happier.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate you.
The word relieved is the word.
Feel it.
Well, good
stuff.
Happy Thanksgiving, Doug. Thank you for always making time for our show. I appreciate
for everybody all the support. I tell you, the support I got from everybody has been just tremendous. So I can't thank everybody enough. It was definitely truly a blessing to pull it off.
Your fans, you mentioned them, like that was in one of your winter interviews. You said, thank you to all my fans. And people were like, what about those people? The Doug Kalitta fans, tried and true Kalitta Motorsports fans. You've got some really diehard folks out there, and you delivered for them. I love the fact that you included them right from the start of the countdown. Like, hey guys, we're on this ride together.
Yeah, no, it was interesting just in the last few races. Everybody, just really showed their support, and it really meant a lot to me and my team. So it was definitely great to be able to get closure and have them all, right there with me. So it was awesome, really.
Amazing. All right, Doug, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. We'll see you on the other side. I think we might do a little something with that E-Part Trade Industry Week later on in December. But bottom line, all the best to you and your family. Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your championship, and we'll see you on the other side.
All right. Take care. Appreciate it.
Doug Kalitta with us here on WFO Radio. World champion, top fuel for Kalitta Motorsports. And I don't know what to say, guys. I think it was one of the most significant moments that I've experienced in my drag racing career. Being there certainly live was amazing, but feeling the intensity of the moment. I was there for Antron Brown's first world championship when Brandon Bernstein beat Tony Schumacher and made Antron a world champion. And I stood right in front of Antron, like behind that video that you see, the historic video that you see of Antron going crazy. I was on the other side of the camera, kind of, in the area. This is long before I worked for the National Hot Rod Association. And I could feel that was a big moment, right? Wow. And this moment, rolling to the starting line, knowing that Doug and Leah were going to race, knowing how good Leah has become and how badly they wanted it, knowing Neil, and I haven't spoken with Neil so many times over the course of the countdown because he's like very interview friendly, and having spoken with Alan and Brian so many times leading into that moment, and knowing that somebody is going to walk away from this disappointed, and that someone is going to walk away from this as a champion, and the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat, both sides of the racetrack. And that's why I pulled out my phone. There are some times where I just am compelled to capture a moment, and to see Nikki brought to tears and just all those great moments like that. I will carry that with me forever. I will carry that moment with me forever. It is as if I watched, I can't even think of a moment, right? Kirk Gibson hitting the home run for the Dodgers. I hate that I'm thinking of a Dodgers moment, but to be in that moment, who gets to be in that moment? And we get to be in that moment. It's amazing. Hey guys, put your comments in the comment section. Your thought about what you just heard from Doug Kalitta. And we'll take about 5-10 minutes to go through your comments. But in the meantime, I got to tell you about the people who make it possible for me to do this show. Otherwise, I couldn't do it, like Total Seal Piston Rings. TotalSeal.com for all the engine builders out there, for all the sportsman racers out there. From Stock Eliminator to Formula One, there are Total Seal rings going down the racetrack and taking number one qualifying positions. TotalSeal.com, we've got a podcast for them called Hidden Horsepower. Gary Stinnett is the most recent guest, but we also had Shane Tecklenburg, the EFI guru, so many cool things on Hidden Horsepower. Go check it out. Phillips Connect. Spoke with Justin Ashley. What a great year Justin had. In the end, Phillips Connect is doing so many great things out there on the highways and byways for people in the transportation industry with their smart trailer technology. Get connected. Phillips Connect. Go to phillips-connect.com or email me, joe@wforadio.com, and I will put you together with the folks at Phillips Connect. Been talking about Foggit for a while, and it protects the inside of your highly tuned racing engine because microscopic corrosion is happening at all times. Here's the deal. They are now an Amazon choice product. So go to Amazon.com and type in Foggit, and all of a sudden you can get Foggit directly. It's a much easier, like, what does Amazon choice product mean? It's industry lingo, but the bottom line is Amazon is prioritizing it now because it's become so popular. So wherever you are, go to Amazon, type in Foggit, and you'll be able to see that you can get Foggit much easier. You can also go to Foggit.com, but everyone's getting everything from Amazon anyway. So you might as well get your Foggit on there. And everybody who is a WFO radio listener knows that they should get a can of Foggit for under their Christmas tree, if for nothing else, just to support the show. FTI Performance Transmissions and Torque Converters. Florida Transmission Incorporated. What you need to know is on the side of race-winning cars, Top Sportsman, Top Dragster, Fuel Tech Pro Mod, Super Comp, Super Gas, Super Street, drag and drive cars. FTI makes transmissions and torque converters that get the job done, whether it be 2-speed power glide or 3-speed or a shift kit for your Turbo 350. They do it all. So when it's time to think about what goes between your engine and your drive shaft, think about FTI Performance Transmissions and Torque Converters. Ocala, Florida is the home of Bernie's Speed Shop, bernies.com. Hit their social media, of course, all kinds of cool cars that you can buy, right? They are a dealership in many ways, but they also sell on consignment. And they're looking for inventory. It's if you're looking to buy, if you're looking to sell, if you're looking for a great point of purchase, bernies.com. They sell e-bikes. They got a bunch of great stuff. And for my money, the culture that Josh Hart has created down there is the story. Like, his people love it. Like, they'll do health and fitness challenges to keep everybody, on the same page and feeling good. It's a great community. And we were lucky enough to meet most of the people at Bernie's this year. And I plan to go back, bernies.com. Check all those guys out. They do a great job. And then Frank Hawley getting a mention, Mitch going to Frank Hawley and Luke going to Frank Hawley, driving dragsters. You can do it too. It's called the Dragster Adventure, and it makes a great Christmas gift. Go to frankhawley.com to find out more. The program travels around the country. So you don't even have to go to Gainesville, Florida. You can go to wherever they come. Like, for instance, they're going to do Tucson Dragway. The full schedule is up on the website, but I recommend getting it as a gift for the person who questions your drag racing addiction. Like, why do you like that? Yeah, why don't you come find out why I like it? And now you'll have to get a second car as opposed to worrying about your own car. Is that a good idea or a bad idea? You decide. 817-924-6821, Marvin Rodak Coffee. Hot sauce, spice rub, grilling tool tips and information. If you're in the Fort Worth, Texas area, that's where the home of Rodax is. But you can order it wherever you are. The WFO radio blend is very popular. I'm drinking something today. I don't even know. There's a bunch of letters. It's from India. And, I'm loving it. 817-924-6821. But honestly, the Stampede of Speed blend got me very excited. Call Marvin. Order coffee as a gift for your people, your best sales team, your guys, your good clients. Use Rodax, RODAKS, coffeeandgrills.com. Go check them out. And it's not a great gift per se, but it's definitely the future of our sport in the United States of America. People who know how to do and build and make, the machinists of the world, they're learning at samtech.edu, whether it be CNC programming or motorsport EFI tuning or how to hone a block, how to do cylinder heads. That's what's going on at Samtech. They're down there in Houston, Texas, and I know they're going to be at the PRI trade show. Samtech.edu. Call Brian Massengill and tell him you heard about it on WFO Radio. And those are the people who make it possible, guys. This show doesn't happen without them, our sponsors. And we have been so fortunate to have so many people within the sport of drag racing connect with WFO Radio for over 10 years. And, what can I say? All right, let's see what... I stalled long enough. And now there's 31 comments in the comment section. Let's see. All right. So Jim Essex wanted to ask Doug, canopy or no canopy? Like, that's an Alan Johnson question. And I don't know. I feel like it's a moot point, right? Like, they just won the title without the canopy. The whole canopy, no canopy deal. I feel like light, small driver canopy, slightly larger driver, maybe no canopy. Maybe it's as simple as that. Like, if you're a little bit bigger, like Doug's a little bit bigger, like maybe that weight focused in the center of the car is not the best thing for the car getting down the racetrack. But what it illuminates for me is the debate. What's good or bad? What is good or bad? Like, how do you know what's good or bad? Blowing a tire at 300 miles an hour is never a good thing. But without that moment, do they win the world championship? And so looking back at that moment, was that good or bad? It was good, but in the moment they thought it was bad, and you just don't know. And I always like to think about that. And, you catch the red light and you're so angry about it. I caught the red light. I'm going to be 5 minutes behind. But who knows what would have happened up there if you had made the green light? Like, maybe a meteorite would have landed on your head. You just don't know. All right. So everybody wanted to know that. Mark wanted to know that deal. All of that. Will AJ return to Kalitta Motorsports in 2024 season? Doug answered that. Persistence wears down resistance. Great job, Doug and the team. Thinking in that moment, I've said it a bunch on the Ignition show and hear it from Heiner, our Patreon only show, all of that stuff. The racing gods, like, are you going to do this to this guy again? Are you going to do this to Doug again? And the answer is no. They relented. Persistence does beat resistance. It wears down resistance. And that's one of my greatest takeaways from this sport of drag racing, is that you can't quit. Like the whole Lex June deal. You cannot quit. You must just keep coming. And eventually you're going to get to where you need to go. Stephen Page, it's good to see a professional champion. No, Doug is a great representative of the sport. And to me, he does look different. It's a weird question. Doug, you look different. To me, he looks different. I haven't won a championship for 26 years. Like, what's going on? What is this all about? Weighing him down. No longer. Derek says, back to work. Congratulations to Doug and the team. Stephen Page. Oh, should have asked him that. Listen, this is not, Doug's working. This is not like get to know Doug Kalitta. This is, you won the championship, baby. Clark Kent of drag racing, certainly. What do you think of the SRX idea, right? Like, they want a big popular driver, obviously, the reigning Top Fuel world champion representing NHRA and SRX for a race or two next year. I think that makes sense to me. Now, I'm sure there's an algorithm or something. I believe he does, Larry. No, I believe they take a coach. Yeah, they're on Spirit and coach. Congrats, champs, Ian Norwalk. Everybody saying happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to the entire team. And thank you so much. If you're watching in the future, yes, this happened right before Thanksgiving. So glad to see Doug win his world championship. Never gave up on the championship. You guys didn't. You never gave up on the championship. You can't. So many people that I'm happy for. Everyone likes Doug. He's a likable guy. He absolutely is. He buries the run. It's their bookends of a moment. They are connected in history. They both happened in the right lane. Alan Johnson was behind both cars. Yeah, sorry, Zach. History doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. And this is a perfect example of that. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys out there. And thank you. Thank you for supporting WFO Radio. Thank you for clicking the bell and checking out our live stream and our podcast. And we have unique content in the podcast feed, by the way. Hey, Joe, are you involved with NHRA DRA? I don't know what DRA is. Get LaBouse on the show. All the champions will be on the show. Even John LaBouse, who probably doesn't want to do it. Yeah, no. Best show, that's debatable, certainly in the top tier. Oh, gosh, Derek, you terrible person, you. Oh, and now they're all going. Good job, love you, says Dino. Thank you. Matt says, great show. Everybody's positive. What is the name of the Attention the Pits theme song and artist? No clue. I think that would be bed music. Royalty-free bed music available in these music subscription things that NHRA has. Great show. Thank you so much. Want to go to work on my own stuff. Through adversity comes perseverance. That's a very heady thought. TACP. Through adversity comes perseverance. I agree. Endeavor to persevere. Congratulations on your Miami Dolphins last week against my Raiders. I don't want to get into the whole, sports thing on this one particular show, but I did watch Hard Knocks with the Dolphins last night. It was pretty great. Great to see Doug with a big smile and enjoyment of the moment, plus hearing him getting ready to go after the championship. Yeah, again. Yeah, why would they stop? Alan Johnson is back on top, guys. That is another sub-story of this. Alan Johnson is back on top. And he's the kind of guy that, he's spent all this time getting it right. It's right now. They got it right. What are they going to do? The Doug Kalitta, driver of the year. Why not? Go to NHRA.com and vote for your all-stars. Driver of the year, tuner of the year. Was the Cruise announcement. What was the Cruise announcement? Cruise announced that JC is not coming back. And there is a new announcement of who's going to be replacing them. And it may have happened already, but we're not going to go down that road right now. A couple other notes before we get on out of here. Obviously, WFO swag is on sale online. Makes a great gift, especially the fire stuff. Everybody loves that. Please follow along our channel because we're going to be really ramping up the coverage of the Project Pontiac now because I want to go racing too. Yes, it's going to be a lot slower, but I want to go racing too. And I want to get from behind the microphone and on the track and feel some of that tension that Doug is talking about, whether it be for a Top Fuel World Championship or just the avoiding embarrassment, one way or another. I want to get into the middle of it. We had such a great season, but the outpouring, there's Doug on the stage right there. The feeling of pride and accomplishment at the conclusion of this year. There were so many great moments, but for me, being able to witness some of my friends win world championships, seeing Nick Galvin, who has been on the Kalitta Motorsports, Mac Tools team the entire time that I have been there, go up on stage with Austin Prock, and he's a world champion. Like Doug Kalitta isn't the only world champion here. Doug Kalitta is a world champion now. But that whole team, they are world champions, like their personal sacrifice, their wives, their girlfriends, their kids, the hours spent away from their children, from their home, working towards a goal. And now they are genuine world champions. It's such an amazing thing that happens in the NHRA. From 1 second to the next, things change. And those stories of the past are no longer. And now we pick different stories. Who will be the next? Will Doug go back-to-back in 2024 as the Mission Foods Drag Racing Series begins? Will some of the young lions, like the Justin Ashleys and the Josh Harts, emerge? Leah Pruett, who got to be part of drag racing history. This is definitely part of her championship story. When it happens, the experience of being in and involved. Just amazing. I thank you all. Happy Thanksgiving. We had a great show with Aaron Stanfield and Alan Reinhart yesterday. It was just tremendous. Aaron Stanfield was great. Great job announcing this year. Thank you very much. Put a lot into it. Try real hard to make it fun and interesting for everybody. Clearly, I love the sport. Are you going to do a Christmas party on your show? Yes, Jim. That is part of WFO. Some invitations are already going out. It's going to be very interesting. I'm actually going to do some scheduling this year as opposed to just open it up. Yeah, Leah and Doug for the championship next year. Maybe. We just don't know what lies ahead. I can tell you, though, that it's going to get better and better. More cars on the way. Crew chiefs, silly season, moving around, people going from here to there, teams breaking up and picking up the guys, and new teams like coming on board. Drag racing has got momentum right now. It's got momentum. And what I think one of the goals of WFO Radio and our podcast and our live stream, which started over 10 years ago, was to build and grow the sport of drag racing, not only the sport, but the media culture behind it. And along with social media and iPhones and everything that happened since, I think it's happening. We're in the middle of it happening. Doug Kalitta winning the championship is a big part of it. All right, guys, happy Thanksgiving. Thanks to Doug. WFO.